My name is John Pelaez. I'm a pickleball coordinator at Kingsbury Club in Medfield. I also coach in the town of Millis and obviously the town of Medfield as well. So pickleball is a sport that involves a paddle and a ball in the shape of like a wiffle ball with holes in it. It's similar to ping pong and tennis in the sense that it's in a court, in a tennis court surface, or it can be in a basketball court surface against either two players or one player in singles. And it's a great way to keep active and have fun. I'm originally from Boston, moving from Boston to a town in Attleboro, really different town slash city. There wasn't many sports in Attleboro for somebody like me to get into. The only thing I saw was my local YMCA had a pickleball session available, so I tried it out and I dragged my wife, who usually never played sports before. I dragged her along with me, and it was a great way for me and my wife to play together. And we've been playing for 3 years now, and we've been playing competitively across several tournaments. And I've been coaching sports for many, many years now. I've done soccer, some type of boxing, jiu-jitsu, different coaching. But pickleball I've been coaching for 2 years. I started in the town of Millis, and from there I kind of grew my network, and now I have a job at Kingsbury Club, and I coach, and I am also a coordinator at Kingsbury Club. And it's really rewarding to see players that didn't have any really experience in a sport or haven't played a sport in a very long time. It's really, really nice to see them progress and start playing and start getting into that competitive edge like they used to. For senior citizens that used to have a competitive edge in other sports and can't really move as much as they used to or want to, pickleball is a great way for the senior to get out there and start moving and hitting the ball the way that they used to do it, but with obviously a tennis racket instead of a pickleball paddle. There are a lot of players that want to become a professional. I'm one of them. I want to be in a professional circuit, play with top players around the nation. Hopefully we get to put it into the Olympics sometime soon. Pickleball has benefited me greatly, growing my relationship with my wife, and we've just connected with pickleball. You know, we play pickleball constantly, go to events, pickleball events constantly. Some other benefits of pickleball is obviously physical benefits. I've met many players that were overweight or just didn't have good mobility in their shoulders or their hips or whatever, and they walked into pickleball and have now, you know, lost weight and have been physically fit for some time. Doesn't matter the age, it could be youth, anywhere from 5, 6, 7 years old all the way to 80, 90-year-olds that I've seen play, that, you know, it's just kept them physically fit and kept them alive. And it's also benefited me. I've been in a community that I've never would have been without pickleball. I've met a lot of players and a lot of great friends that I would have never met if it wasn't for pickleball. So that's what's benefited me. To me, sports in general is a great way of showing your creativeness. Most famous or well-known players are players that are creative and really go left when you should have gone right. I may look like, when I arrive to a court, maybe something completely different to what I actually perform in the court. It's a great way to not only be creative yourself, but you're working alongside a teammate, and that really shows your creativeness, your imagination to create points and not just try to kill it on one. That's why I love pickleball so much, because it's a great way to really set up your partner or yourself for future shots. There are some shots in pickleball that are super, super creative. Around the post normally doesn't happen on a regular point, but the creativeness of somebody waiting for the ball to go outside of the post and finish the point just shows imagination, and something that normally you would just play over the net, but around the post is a great shot. Another great shot is the Ernie, which is basically when you're next to something called the kitchen or the non-volley zone, and you jump your way out of the non-volley zone and hit the ball in the air and land outside of the non-volley zone. Now, it's really uncommon to see that happen, but once you do, you see other players throw in certain flares and hit the ball different ways, and I think that's a great way to show creativeness. To me, coaching players fulfills my creativeness by kind of being the outside player and not controlling, but knowing that you are the one that that set up that person's mindset to set up the points. For example, if you were to see before a player used to really hit the ball really hard and the ball would not go over, when you see the player kind of implementing a dink and a softer touch, you know that that's something that you've coached them through, and that shows that they've, really kind of captured what you wanted. I think certain personalities that a coach should have is just understanding that not everybody is the same, and different players react to different ways of teaching, and you can't tell one player the same thing that you tell another one and expect them to know the same exact thing. A lot of players come with a tennis background, a ping pong background, a racquetball background, things like that, and a great way to coach everyone is by understanding that everyone's different. I have been coaching not only privates, but also clinics, groups of 4, groups of 8, where they're brand new players, don't know each other. As a coach, you have to adapt and kind of just play along and see the differences in who's a little bit more advanced and who needs a little bit more work. The great thing about pickleball is it doesn't matter how old, young, fat, skinny, tall. I've noticed many players play together. I encourage anyone to really try it out, to try out the sport. If you don't move often, or if you haven't moved and you really want to kind of get back into a competitive spirit, pickleball is a great way to not only build your community, but also build yourself and really get back into a shape that you once were. I definitely think that moving is the key, and staying active, no matter who you are. If you're a younger player, in their teens, looking to get into really more popular sports like soccer and things like that, I think pickleball is a great tool that you could use to kind of really help you with your footwork and your mindset. There are many tournaments. Tournaments for me are a great way to really show yourself and compare your skills to other players. I've done tournaments for many different sports, and pickleball is very unique because it really kind of doesn't matter if you win or lose. It's all just make sure that you're playing your best game, and if you lose and you play your best game, you still got to look up and see who you played against and the competition. And so that's why I believe tournaments are really key, really important to anybody's success in any type of sport. But pickleball in specific, there are many well-known pickleball tournaments, especially in Florida. The US Open happens yearly in Florida. Many other local tournaments that are, here around the town. Medfield, Kingsbury has many. We'll be planning many more tournaments in the future as well. You can really pick up the sport right now in any recreation department. If you're around the area, I know Millis has a great recreation department with pickleball. If you wanted to join a club or start to get serious a little bit with the sport, Kingsbury Club is a great facility that has 8 independent pickleball-specific courts, which is really hard to find up here in the Northeast. We have many programs to teach all types of players, all ages, for our youth academy. Pickleball 101 is a really successful program that we run on Saturdays. Brand new players could come on over. Don't worry if you don't have a paddle or balls, we have that covered at Kingsbury Club in Medfield. We have many leagues and open play scheduled times that you can come and experience different players, different atmosphere. We have a restaurant right next door, so after or before your games, you could always pop over and grab a drink or a bite or something like that. You could check out the Kingsbury Club Medfield on their website. We have pickleball schedules. I would suggest clicking on the pickleball and going through the list and going through all the different programs and the memberships that we have. We have a pickleball only membership that runs through the year. It's not a contract, it's a month-to-month basis. So many players pause them if they know that they're going away and then they come back. Kingsbury Club offers many options for open play, and you could definitely look at it on the website for sure. If you're interested in talking and connecting with me and figuring out more about the sport, definitely feel free to contact me via email, jp24pickleball@gmail.com. If you have any questions with paddles or lessons or figuring out tournaments around the area, definitely give me a shout and I'll try to get back to you.